Why shouldn't we use the term factory farming?
So the term factory farming is a really powerful term, and it has done its job. It has really exposed the animal agriculture industry for the horror that it is and has become, that these animals are commodified, they're just used like machinery. And so factory farming, it's really made people wake up and be aware of what's happening in the industry. But what's happened is there's also been, because we've been successful in exposing animal cruelty because of the undercover investigations in these dairy facilities and slaughterhouses, people are seeing what's happening to these animals and they're concerned. Also, antibiotic use, the impact on the environment. There's so many reasons that factory farming has become really a household term, and people want to do something about it. Well, the industry is giving them something to do about it, and that is that they're shifting their rhetoric and they're shifting their language and labels to things like organic and free range and cage free and sustainable. We're seeing all kinds of labels. And so people suddenly have an option and they think, well, my meat isn't factory farmed, I get it at Whole Foods. Or my eggs aren't factory farmed, they're free range. So there's this distinction that's happening now, and we have to be careful because these labels are so poorly regulated. They mean very little. The animals are still suffering. So I really feel at this point we need to start saying that all animal agriculture is cruel. All animal agriculture causes environmental destruction. All animal agriculture, needs to be avoided. So we just need to be careful with our language because language is so important. And I think that factory farming really no longer necessarily implies a vegan message or an abstaining from animal agriculture message. So we want to be sure to have that awareness that all animal agriculture is the impact, and that reducing and eliminating animal products and going vegan is the best thing we can do.
What is speciesism? Why is it important to live in harmony with other species?
So speciesism is just like other isms that you can think of: racism, sexism, homophobia. These are oppressions where it's believed that one, in this case, species, is dominant over another or more important than another. And of course, where we apply that worldwide is the human species being dominant and oppressive to every other species on the planet. So we definitely want to be aware that speciesism exists, that speciesism is really inherent in everything we do, in our language, in our culture, and it's detrimental to our society. We actually right now are in a pandemic because of speciesism, because of our connection to wildlife trafficking, going into wild places, exploiting the wildlife there, and bringing them into society to kill and eat and butcher. And that connection causes infectious zoonotic diseases, which is the pandemic we're seeing today. And animal agriculture does the same thing. When we confine animals and we're in close contact with animals, and it's stressful situations for them, again, we're causing diseases, not only infectious zoonotic diseases, but also chronic degenerative diseases in our bodies. So speciesism is so linked to so many things. Our oppression, our domination of animals is not only harmful to them, but it's harmful to the planet and it's harmful to us. We're all connected. So we really need to recognize speciesism, recognize that it is harmful, that it is a system-wide oppression that's connected to all other oppressions, and that we really need to fight against it, and know that non-human species are deserving to live free of human-imposed suffering and death.
Why do so many people never want to discuss or think about how animals that are raised for food are treated?
I think that really the bottom line is because people love animals. Most people love animals. And we have this inherent nature of loving animals. Children love animals. So we don't want to see them harmed. And I think that because there has been this growing awareness around animal agriculture, that we know that something is not right about it, something is going on, that's not healthy and not good for the animals, not good for the planet. Yet we're so interconnected with it. We're eating all day. We eat 3 times a day, and so I think people they're concerned. They're scared to learn. Like you hear people say, "Oh, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it." And I think that's natural. It's a natural reaction because I think they know that it's inherently wrong to kill and eat animals, and that would make it so that they would have to change something in their lives. I think we need to not be afraid of the change. I think we need to realize that changing our diet to a plant-based diet is really not dramatic and huge. You can still eat things that are familiar. You can still have full, wonderful, satisfying meals. So there's nothing really scary about it. And then that consciousness raises that compassion. You get to really to embrace that compassion that we have for animals, and then it's better for the planet, better for our health. So I think that hopefully people will be more open to hearing about these issues, because it's very important for the sake of our planet, if not for our own health and for the animals.
Why should we care about animals? We have to eat and we need to feed 7 billion people and we need to keep the economy going. So, what choice do we have?
Well, if we want to feed those 7 billion people, and we're actually coming up on 8 billion pretty soon, the population growth is really exponential. If we want to feed all those people, we are going to need to transition to plant-based eating. It's just, and across the board, you hear this from the UN and from all kinds of governmental bodies and the World Health Organization, all kinds of government and worldwide agencies that are looking into this, looking into the sustainability, looking into climate change, looking into how are we going to feed everyone on this planet. And again and again and again from these studies, we see the recommendation of reducing animal products, eating more plants, eating more fruits and vegetables, transitioning to a plant-based diet, because that's the way we're going to heal this planet and be able to feed everyone. I mean, that if we want to feed everyone, plant-based is really the way to go, because it uses so many less resources, so much less water and land and all of that. And that we're going to need to transition to a plant-based diet to feed the world.